Hello, I am back from travels for the 40th podcast that we've done of this.
Oh my
Oh, wow.
God, is it really 40?
It's
Jesus.
40. Yeah, we're on the 40th
40
one.
years old.
We're 10 away
40
from 50.
years old.
Yes, it's crazy. It's crazy,
I
crazy.
hope y'all got that reference.
Some do, some don't. All right. So we are going to get right into it and talk about our weeks here. So, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, this week was pretty much business as usual. Let's see. The last time we did one of these was I had Brock join us for a Renegade animation podcast. We talked about Devil May Cry, which we'll talk about more later.
Yes.
And over the weekend I went to Destiny USA with some friends. That's like one of the biggest malls in America. So that was pretty fun. And
Nice.
I'm looking forward to this weekend because it's Easter, and Ryan Coogler's new movie Sinners is out this weekend, which I'm very much looking forward to.
I am so down to see that. Yeah, that looks really good.
Bree?
Just to add before I introduce myself, totally watch Ryan Coogler's video that he did on Kodak's YouTube channel about like film formats and like where certain screenings are playing. It is so good, and God, I wish he was my film teacher. Anyway, it's been kind of a wild couple weeks for me. Recorded 2 episodes of Late Crap. The Fantastic Four episode is out now, and then The Marine starring John Cena is coming out Thursday. I think I have it scheduled for like 9 or 10 a.m. The Marine might be the favorite movie that we've covered so far because it was not at all what I thought it was going to be.
It's a good time.
Doing stuff with Puppy, and then honestly, just I'm tired. I need more sleeps.
Don't we all?
Kiana.
Hi, I'm a logo again. Hi, Pringle in the chat, and hi, Umbreon.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
So, for me, this week has been pretty easy going, or the past couple weeks have been pretty easy going. We had all that excitement surrounding the Switch 2, which we'll get to. Other than that, it's been an interesting, we're building towards WrestleMania. My best friend Red has a big stream coming up on Friday this week. So that's going to be exciting. I will tell you more about that when we sign out towards the end. And other than that, it's been pretty fun just getting into doing our D&D and Vampire the Masquerade role plays and stuff, and that's been a lot of fun. So yeah,
Nice.
it's been cool.
You guys are awesome. You're awesome, Ghost Pringle. I have to
You're
admit
great,
that like
Pringle.
it shows how screwed up it is with trying to get my family to get occasions together that I messaged a buddy of mine that I normally watch the Big Four wrestling pay-per-views with. I'm like, hey, are you available to watch WrestleMania this weekend? And he goes, I don't know. I got family stuff going on. I'm like, what family stuff do you have going on this weekend? He goes, it's Easter. I went,
Huh.
oh, yeah. We never have family occasions on the appropriate weekends because I'm the only non-married sibling, so everyone is all over the place. But so yeah, quite excited about that. I just got back from a family vacation where I was in Savannah, Georgia with my family for a week. Savannah is a beautiful city. Saw a lot of cool things there. Got to see like an actual like container ship, cargo ship up close before in operation. Those things are a wonder to behold. Got to go to a serial killer museum while we were down there. Got to see some original John Wayne Gacy's, among other things, and that was an experience. The Gray Face Museum. Anybody who lives near Savannah or Chicago, go and see it. It's people that have like legitimately talked to the like siblings and relatives of these people and have direct firsthand accounts. It's interesting. It's something else. It's not just that. They have oddities. They have stuff on like Heaven's Gate, the Suicide Cult, and all that. Kearns, what's up? How's it going, man? And one thing, anyone that knows me has seen me cosplaying. I'm a giant fan of Devil May Cry. That's gonna go on to the anime that we'll get into later. But I got to do something insanely cool the weekend before this last. And I'm like, don't lie, Easter weekend is because you Prince of Egypt. He's very right. And I got to meet a giant chunk of the Devil May Cry cast, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I normally don't set my expectations high when I'm going to go meet a voice actor. Or at least I try not to, because you could kind of set yourself up for disappointment for them to not be what you thought they were. The only times where I really couldn't do that was with Kevin Conroy and like Yuri Lowenthal. Like I was like, please God, be the coolest people on the planet. And they ended up being that. And the ones that I tried my damnedest to not set my expectations high was the Devil May Cry people. And I tried to not set my expectations high, but I did. And they ended up exceeding them. They might have been the most coolest group of people I've met in my entire life. And just every one of them went out of their way to make me feel like so freaking welcome. All of them.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Dude, they were so good. Like, Dan Southworth might be the most professional goofball I've met in my entire life. That guy is just bleeds professionalism. Like, he was the dad of their group. And Ruben, who voices Virgil, Ruben was the cool uncle that just like sat there and like tried to play with the kids. Like every time they had to do something, Dan was like, "All right, come on, we gotta do a promotional shoot. Everyone, get over here." But like he wanted to go set up for Quanta Power. Yes, exactly. He actually had some morphers, his helmet, and his gloves on his table, Matt. Like when I wanted to go set up the pictures, like he had everything just right. He's like, all right, for the pose you're gonna hit here, here, and here. Like professional stunt coordinator mode went on for like all these pictures. I'm like, I gotta pay for. He's like, no, we're gonna take like 10 pictures. They're all free. Don't worry about it. What? Yeah, it was legitimately like, I was so happy. I got everything done, got to meet all of them within a half an hour, and then got to listen to them talk about the recording process of how they make Devil May Cry and how it's bordering on almost impossible to make this game without everyone that is involved in with them. Because like they talked about how Brian Danford and oh no, I'm blanking on her name. It's something Kingsley. It's the girl that voices Nico. But they talked about how they went into like their first time going into their first table read, and like Johnny who voices Nero, Dan who voices Virgil, and Ruben who voices Dante. They just looked at their scripts and went, nope, 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 with like black permanent marker over their entire scripts, and they're like, what's going on? What are you doing? And they're like, oh no, they just give us the rough draft, and for the past like 3 games, we've done the English translation ourselves and made it all work.
Oh,
like,
no.
What? Brian and her in the background like, you wait, huh? They're like, yeah, they totally trust us with the characters. They give us the base of what they want said, and we Englishify it for the Western audience for them. You're allowed to change the script all completely? But like, yeah, and some other stuff, like who all knows what's in Devil May Cry 5? Even remotely?
Vaguely.
Yeah,
okay.
Vaguely.
Okay, well, so there are these things that this character V has. He has a cat he has a jaguar named Griffin, or a jaguar named Shadow, a like giant owl named Griffin, and this homunculus blob creature named I'm gonna blank on what it's called, and I am, but anyway, so so Griffin is this owl, like giant owl thing that I didn't know, like the mocap for like the jaguar, the owl, and this big thing is actually done by these actors. And like this thing sits on his shoulder or sits next to him, and like Brian Danford, the guy who voices V, who like commands all of them, was talking about like some of their favorite moments. He's like, and in true professionalism, those that don't know, Griffin, Shadow, and I can't blank on the other one, is all mocapped by Dan Southworth. And in true professional fashion, the entire time he was mocapping Griffin, he was sitting in the thing like this. And it was very hard to get my lines in when he's doing this the whole time. So imagine freaking ripped jawline, freaking jacked martial artist guy just being a moron in the corner. They sound like just the coolest people ever. Oh, it's so good. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, Quanta Raider voice interaction. Yeah, it's like, I can't actually say I've had a bad interaction with a voice actor at a con. I've had some, and I'm not going to name who they are. Had some that were very much just, hey, you come sign the autograph, and you like, what? Like, they weren't a jerk, but they were like, that's all they were kind of just there to do, and then didn't want to have a whole lot otherwise, because I was like one of the only people at their table at that time. But I've never had has anyone here had like an outright bad experience meeting someone at a con?
Can't say I have.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, no, I've never really had a bad one. But yeah, no, that is like up there with Yuri and Kevin levels of just the best interactions on the planet. Like to the point of where Ruben actually asked me for the info for the person who made my Yamato for my Virgil cosplay, because he's like, that's the best one I've ever seen. I want to know who makes that.
Nice.
Yeah, and like when I was at Ruben's table, like he was talking about Yuhei Shishida, the guy who, I can't think off the top of my head, the guy who does like all the stunt coordination and like the mapping for the mocaps in Devil May Cry series. He's like taking me behind his table and like taking out his phone to show me personal pictures of them like eating dinner in Japan. He was awesome. But anyway, we have some news to talk about. And we got a couple of buy or sells, but not a ton. So we're going to get on through them. Alrighty. I have to bring up another picture. Kiona, buy or sell. Oh, this is going to look really not great. Buy or sell the first look at the main man.
The main man. You know what? I think that's about as great of a Lobo as we're going to get in live action. I really do. I think it looks good.
Agree.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like Lobo.
He looks like Lobo.
Yeah.
I'm down for it, man. I'm down.
Mike and Bree, I assume, buys as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bog standard bait. And you know what's really funny about this? Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he supposed to be the Crow at one point?
I remember he was one of the 70 crows before they settled on Bill Skarsgård.
Table was super busy, but I said a couple of things to it. Nice. But that's like when a fan expo and Tom William Mike Rose huge lines are getting on. Yeah, it does suck when you see people with shorter lines because they're not.
That makes me sad. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's something you kind of, it sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Since Kiona, I think, is the only one that really even knows this. Kiona, buy or sell that Bear McCreary has told the VGC that he feels his contribution to the God of War series is complete.
Is he also scoring the series?
He was the guy that did the last two games.
He did the last two games, right? So, okay.
Yeah,
so
he feels his work on the series is complete.
Okay. Well.
Oh, does that mean he's not doing the series?
I wish that...
He's done.
Yeah, he's done. Okay, well... I hope whoever comes after him follows the blueprint that he left, because I love Bear McCreary so much.
I mean, unless, they're just reprising, like, his older scores, or that he's going to be credited for him, I guess. Well,
it's also, if anyone who would play the games would kind of realize this actually kind of makes sense, like, they're going to be moving on to a different mythology.
Yeah, it does. So, it does make sense.
Like, he was very much, like, Drupin, like, throat singing for, like for...
His music is so good, dude.
Oh, it's amazing.
His stuff reminds me, it's like it's the same level of connection to God of War, at least in the current incarnation. It's that same level of connection that Mick Gordon has to Doom, in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that nobody else can do it, but I think it would be nice. Like I like the fact that even in the new Doom game that's coming out next month, I feel like they're definitely keeping the sound sort of going. You know what I mean? They're not like yeah. They're not.
You need to get yourself updated, Matt. All right. It'll be a quick buy or sell for anyone who's watched it. Kiana, did you watch Devil May Cry?
I did not, as of yet. I heard very good things.
Well, for anyone who will buy, I'm buying it. Season 2 is already confirmed, so
that's good. That's great. Yeah.
I have to buy that.
No, brainer.
Yeah,
it did very well.
I would think so.
Mike, buy or sell that Phoebe Waller-Bridge's Tomb Raider series at Amazon is reportedly no longer happening.
Oh, shocking.
I'm not even sure what to think of this, which is weird because she just renewed her deal with Amazon. So I don't know what's happening with any of the projects that she's got set up, but as long as she's still stealing more of Amazon's money, that's fine by me.
Umbreon, they're not even close to done. They were making a multiplayer game for it that got canceled just recently. Oof. They're currently, as rumor goes, that was one of the 3 games that's being worked on for God of War right now. So they're very much not done with those games. It makes them way too much money.
So is this the one? Is that the Tomb Raider show that was going to have Sophie Turner as Lara Croft?
She was the big one that was supposedly going to do it. Like, Haley Atwell's right there.
Mm-hmm.
She's already voicing her.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
but I would say...
Did we know anything about, like, what version of, like, Lara Croft? Because I'm like, Haley isn't even, like, that old, but if you wanted to do a slightly older one, she could have done it.
No, I was going to assume, because it's the thing that everyone does now, is it was going to go off the latest string of games, which was her just starting. But if they weren't, I would say Haley. That's probably why they were aiming at someone like Sophie Turner, who looks younger.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming.
Is Turner still, like, isn't she? She's over 30 now at this point, is she not?
I don't know.
I would think so. Yeah.
I would imagine she's at least 30, but I'm not sure.
Close to it at the very least. But yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I never
she's only
liked
29.
that choice.
Okay, well, 29. she's about.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
I never liked that choice of
I wasn't a fan
being cast.
No, I'm not either. But I'm kind of want to do like more like Laura stuff. Because I know the Alicia Vikander films kind of did like a similar thing, and I kind of feel like,
and it was really good, and they should have done more.
It was good. I know they should have done more.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I'm like hesitant to do like another Lara Croft like origin, because I feel like we're just starting and stopping, and it's like, why?
Yeah, it's the same thing over and over and over.
Well, I would have given them credit when they're starting over for a TV show. If this would have been their like 5th attempt at a film in 5 years, I would have been a little bit more against it. But all right, Mike, buy or sell that Sue Storm is the head of the Future Foundation, working to achieve global political peace in Fantastic Four First Steps.
I buy that this is very much a fantasy film, like a very...
What a part that would be fantasy, Mike.
But no, I buy pretty much everything I'm hearing about Fantastic Four so far. I need to see a new trailer, though.
Yeah, because it doesn't really say anything. But also, if you want to hear like my controversial takes on Fantastic Four, don't listen to episode 4 of Lay Crap that we totally did by accident. Like, we didn't mean it to be Fantastic Four 1994 episode 4, but...
Good Lord. All right. Bree, buy or sell the first trailer for Predator Killer of Killers.
More stylized animation, please. And I'm almost, my mind is like blown. I'm like, that no one's come up with like a Predator animated thing before. And that's the thing that's getting me, like, because I didn't think of it, and now it's like, wow, this is so obvious. I'm mad that no one has thought of this beforehand.
Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous. Mike?
I bias, but I sell the fact that it's a Hulu exclusive. This should be in theaters.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell Disney's deal is with putting like the actual good Fox stuff on like Hulu. Like, what the hell is up with that?
To be fair, they are putting Predator Badlands in theaters, so they're slowly learning their lesson.
But you'd think they would have learned with the one Predator thing they did.
For Prey,
they would have put all of them in.
Which, but by the way, I still haven't watched that in the original English. I only watched it in the Comanche dub.
Oh, nice.
The original English is still really good. Kiona?
I cautiously buy it. I think that it's pretty good. It looks all right in terms of like, I like the fact that it's adult animation. In other words, it's bloody and it's, it's got the same kind of structure as like a Predator movie. I'm not sure that I love the animation style myself for this. It's fine. It is what it is.
I mean, it's very arcane.
I'm getting a little tired of that kind of animation though. So to me, it's like, I don't know. But it's going to be Predator. I'll watch it. So.
Absolutely. Mike, buy or sell the first trailer for the Naked Gun reboot?
I buy not just the US trailer, which had the great OJ joke at the end.
Fucking hilarious.
The international trailer has another great sight gag where Liam Neeson's character is like his electric car is still plugged into the charger, and he drives like the charger busts out of the wall, and he says like, this place really is falling apart.
Kiona, buy or sell, if you've seen it.
I have seen the trailer. I'm so torn on this. I think Liam Neeson's great. I think it's going to be funny as hell. I think the OJ joke was probably the thing that I laughed at the most.
I couldn't believe trailer. It actually did.
And I love the poster as well. I think the poster is funny.
Yes.
The main gag with Liam Neeson literally being a baby in the cradle in the stroller was a bit of a stretch.
Bree, I think we basically found out that you did not watch the trailer, but do you buy or sell the idea of the Naked Gun reboot?
Honestly, I'm like just indifferent. I mean, it could be good. I'm also very tired and don't have good opinions right now, so.
Gotcha. That freaking OJ thing reminds me so much of an old interview. I can't remember if it was with James Cameron or if it was with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but like the original pick for the Terminator.
Oh yeah,
I know O.J. Simpson. Oh. But then they said no because they didn't believe that O.J. Simpson could pull off being a killer. Oh, that's one of the most sacred clips I will always appreciate for all of time. Aged like a fine wine. Bree, buy or sell that Last Friday is officially happening. Warner Bros. Has closed the deal and Ice Cube to write and star in it.
I will believe it when it exists, because how many years have they been trying to make Friday 2 happen?
This is my honest to God first time of an actual attempt at it, hearing about it. I don't know.
It's always been in the background of development, but nothing has really ever come of it.
Well, that was like, they wanted to do Anchorman forever, or 2 forever, and then they all went, hey, do you want to do that now? And they went, okay. Then they made it. So it's like, I don't know how those processes work. But I mean, it can work. There's, Mike?
I buy it. Sure, why not? I just in general am happy at the idea that we're starting to get more comedies on the big screen again and not getting them all shoved onto streaming services.
Yeah. Kiona.
Yeah, I'm with Mike. I say I buy it.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Kiona, buy or sell that Sydney Sweeney is no longer getting married and is doing the most geekish shit on earth and is in final talks to supposedly star in Legendary's live-action Gundam movie.
Let's do it. Go, Sydney, go.
Like, actually, like, I don't hate this. Like, I'm like...
I don't hate that either, no.
I'm like, wait. No, actually, let's think about this for a second.
If you could have gave me a billion guesses of who would have been in this Gundam movie, Sydney Sweeney would not have been in the top 100.
Same.
Definitely not, but
I'm here for it.
But I am too, absolutely. Make her some kick-ass Gundam pilot or something. Fuck yeah. No, yeah, I'm very for that. Okay, we are on to the gaming news, and shocker, we're going to talk about the Switch. So, we have the specs for the Switch, and the screen is a 7.9-inch Vivid LCD. The thickness is 13.9 mm. 2 times the screen resolution, up to 4K in docked mode. The main display gets up to 120 FPS plus HDR. 256 gigabytes. 2 Joy-Cons attached with a magnet that can also be used as mouse. Larger and easier press on SL and SR buttons. 3D audio, USB-C ports, noise canceling microphone, and coming in 2025. The games currently cost $80 digital and $90 physical. And if you want to upgrade from a Switch 1 to a Switch 2 version, it is $20.
raising the bar.
What's that?
Slowly raising the bar of pricing.
Yep, and everyone, don't blame the game price on tariffs. A digital thing is not affected by a tariff.
Guys,
Correct.
Think about that for a second.
Please. This is the kind of attitudes that go, I'll pay $100 for GTA because that one won't be by a tariff because it's made by an American company. Like, whoa. Also, figure out how tariffs work before you start blaming every single thing in your life on them.
No, I mean, it
Please.
could just be the gaming industry is greedy, which
Yes.
kind of correlate. I kind of feel like there's like two sides
I
to the
agree on
Nintendo
that.
$80 game thing. I kind of
agree.
feel like part of it is because Nintendo wanted to lure in third-party devs. So saying like, hey, we're fine selling a game that's like 70 plus. I feel like that's part to do of it, since the Switch can now support probably most modern console releases without doing a horror show like Switch's MK1 release, which is still one of the funniest fucking things I have ever seen in my life. But yeah, no, this sets a bad precedent. Like, the price of the console...
The price of the console, I don't
it's
think is
fine.
terrible.
No, I think for what it is, because it is a sizable upgrade from the Switch, like, it's about what I figured it would be. I mean, basically, you're buying, like, a cheapy, like, mini, like, gaming PC. Like, that's essentially what you're buying, and I feel like that's appropriately priced. What I have a problem with, and what the majority of people do, is with the game prices. Like, I get not keeping them the $59.99 is forever, but I feel like it sets, you know, the precedent that if we're going to tier games things, you're going to get into the thing where, since Nintendo never lowers the price of their games,
that's what I was going to bring up. That thing's going to be $80 for life.
Not even so much that, but if you have cheaper games, they will be less, you know, have the appearance that they're not as good games, which is bullshit, because Hades, like, I bought digital on the Switch, like, roughly when it like first came out, like a little bit later, like that holiday season, for like $20. Literally one of my favorite games of all time. So probably one of the, you know, best games that I've personally ever played, and I've gotten the most replay value of it. But by doing it this way, where like, oh, the best games are going to have like that $80 price tag or whatever, I feel like you're gonna screw like a lot of third, party devs into thinking, oh, if it's cheaper, it means it's a bad game, which obviously, like, that's bullshit.
Yeah. The other things that are upsetting me about this is well, we're going to talk about a good thing they're doing, which is something I wish the PlayStation would have done when they started, because Nintendo has a plan to challenge Switch 2 scalpers, limiting its own pre-orders to Switch 1 owners that have an active Switch Online membership and have spent a certain amount of time playing purchase/paid Nintendo Switch games, prioritizing those with more playtime. That's a good thing. I'm not totally against that, because that'll make sure the people that actually play the fucking things will get them. Now we're going to go on to the really stupid things. On top of the games being dumb, hey, Kiona, do you have a PS5?
I do, indeed.
Do you remember the really awesome tech demo and full actual game they gave you for free?
I do, indeed. It was a throwback to the old days of pack-in games, yes.
Yeah, it was really great. They gave me that for free to be like, hey, this new controller we made is fucking awesome and it does a bunch of stuff. We're going to give you this for free as a cool throwback and all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Nintendo is making you pay for their guided experience.
Which is such horse
Yeah, wait,
shit.
why?
Like, I get it's only $10, but I'm like, still, come on.
But here's the other thing, though, and we're going to get to it. Also, languages outside of the original one you pick at the start are paid DLCs. I didn't stutter. You have to buy other languages.
Why is this
guys? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
On top of that, there was a note that originally it was Reggie Fils-Aimé that had to convince Miyamoto and Nintendo to include Wii Sports as a free pack for the game for the Wii. According to his book, he said Reggie said Nintendo simply doesn't believe you should give away their hard work for free, but they relented for the Wii because it was such a new concept. So we barely got Wii Sports for the Wii because Reggie had to fight them for it.
Yep.
It is a guide
come
for your
back?
game. I wish he could. I really wish he could. It's a guide to show you how to use their new console, and you have to pay for it.
That's dumb.
That is so fucked. That is so fucked. Now, we're going to have to wait and see how all this stuff shakes out. And again, don't blame things on tariffs if you don't get them, because they're currently evaluating when they're going to do pre-orders for America. Guess what? They jack the prices up in other countries as well outside of ours. And guess what those countries don't have? Tariffs. So how about we actually believe it's corporate greed? Because it is!
Yep. It's corporate greed.
Look, I love Nintendo as like a company, like their concept. Like, I love them how I love Disney. I hate fucking Nintendo as a corporation because to act like they're this special snowflake, that they're somehow different from PlayStation or Xbox, I'm like,
it's ridiculous.
I'm like, what planet do you fucking live on?
I will say the legitimate only difference is when it feels like for console gaming, they don't feel like they're directly competing with Xbox and PlayStation. They have a totally different crowd.
Yeah, they haven't been like that in like after the GameCube underperformed. They're like, you know what? We'll just do our own thing. And then that's how they ended up doing the Wii and then the 3DS.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so, shocker, I have some stuff for Ubisoft. We're gonna do a 1-2 banger of a good thing and a bad thing. Nintendo's business practices makes you feel like ashamed to be Japanese.
Oh no!
Yikes. All right, so Ubisoft has released Chroma, an open source tool for accurately replicating color blindness over a video game screen. So it is a free course thing that this just technology just does it for you. That's open source for any company to use. Cool.
Yeah.
Good thing for Ubisoft.
Like that.
But also, Ubisoft says players suing over its decision to shut down the crew shouldn't have expected to own the game for forever.
Boo.
Boo.
They just need to just not speak sometimes.
I would love to know who Ubisoft's PR firm is, because they need to be fired into the sun like
they need to be locked
what was
away
it, Skull
from
and
their
Bones?
phones. Yes, yeah. That game. I love how Ubisoft made unbelievably good pirate combat in AC4, and they just cannot recreate it to save their own asses. At all. Just can't.
Nope.
Okay. So, one last minor thing about the Switch. Former president, I think it was Yoshida, says that he wishes the Switch 2 wasn't, and I want to get your thoughts on this, was not just a better Switch. He said Nintendo is quote-unquote losing their identity. He said Nintendo used to focus on new experiences, but are now giving us a better experience just like the other platforms do. I don't have an opinion on this, really.
Like,
I'm fine with what they're doing.
Like, here's the thing. Is that even really true about Nintendo? Like, when you think about it?
As far as their consoles go, yeah. They did innovate on their consoles for like the past 3. Give or take, they horribly mislabeled the last one.
Oh, are you talking about the Wii U?
The Wii U, where everyone thought it was a peripheral for the Wii.
Yeah,
but
that was a misfire.
Yeah, but in terms of like making actual like big like tech leaps, like I don't think Nintendo's been that for a while, where it's been like, oh, Nintendo kooky crazy. Like I feel like the last couple of consoles have just been like, okay, this is the next natural step forward. Like, because even the Wii to like the Wii U, like even though it wasn't the Wii, it was like, okay, this is like the next, natural progression. And to me, like Switch to Switch 2, when literally everyone for like the past 5 years has just been asking, please make a better Switch that doesn't sound like it's a fucking lawnmower every time you fire up a game. So I'm like, if it ain't broke, and the Switch is like literally the best selling console of all time. So like, why would you do something different? That's stupid. Your consumers don't want it. The investors, like, why would you risk it? I don't get that logic.
I don't know. Just it is what it is. All right. Kiona, since I think you're the only one that really has any kind of a horse in this race, did you watch the marathon trailer?
I did.
Do you have any thoughts?
I do not like the art style. I can't see how this is going to be a full price $70 whatever the fuck game. I feel like there's just not enough value there, and the fact that I initially thought that they were going to position this as an extraction shooter with some PvE elements as well. Like, I didn't think it was going to be straight up PvP. There are NPC enemies, but from what I hear, they're like, they're like Halo dudes on Legendary. You know what I mean? Like, they are jumping around and just kicking the fuck out of you. This is what I've been hearing. From what I see of it, I do not like the art style. I don't like the color scheme. I am not impressed pretty much at all. I thought that this game would look a lot better than it does. That Metal Eden game that we saw that we thought was Marathon looks fucking amazing compared to what they're doing here, in my opinion. I don't know. I think Umbreon disagrees. But that's okay.
Does deep for real.
I love the Marathon lore. I love the original, the idea behind it is interesting. I don't think they should have made it a PvP extraction shooter.
Make like a chicken.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. It was good seeing you, Umbreon.
Good seeing you, Umbreon. Enjoy your film.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll see.
But to me, it doesn't look great, and I think Skill Up brought a very, in his video on it, I think he brought up a very salient point, which is the fact that, you're talking about you're talking about an extraction shooter where you can lose all of your loot depending on what's going on, you know what I mean? And you're dealing with a lot of people are going to cross over from Destiny because that's, they're looking for a new experience from Bungie. Mm. It makes sense that a large portion of their audience is going to be Destiny players or lapsed Destiny players like myself. And, they want to bring us in correct. But the thing of it is that you have Destiny players do not like letting go of their loot. We do not like that. My vault in Destiny is full of of guns and armor that I've had for over a decade. It's crazy. So, or I've had a version of it at least for over a decade. So I just think that, I don't see the appeal of this thing, and I don't think that they're going to get much sales if they price it at $70. I just can't see that happening. Even if they price it at $50.
We're going to it. They don't have a price yet.
They don't have a price yet, but if they do price it at full retail of 70 or whatever, or if they
if they do full retail 70,
if they price it even at $40, it would be a rough value proposition for me. I think they have 6 runners and 4 maps, 6 characters and 4 maps is what they're aiming for.
Oh hell no!
And they don't even have any story elements. They said they're going to build it with the community as they go. I know Bungie is in a very tough spot. I know that they are.
Yes, they are.
What does build with the community
but
even
the thing
mean,
of it is, they said they're going to build the narrative with the community depending on what the community does in the game. I don't know what that means.
What does that fucking mean?
It's so vague.
It means nothing.
It means nothing, essentially.
It's less than nothing. So what, are you just going to run in a field? Like, what the fuck?
The things that we've seen in terms of the leaks and the things that we have seen in terms of, like, leaks in terms of, like, the ARG that they sort of had out there, which kind of revealed some of the gun names. You have an SMG that's called the Brt. It's literally called that. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
To me, that sounds like a what?
It sounds like a wet fart. It sounds like a wet fart. Let's just call it the wet fart SMG. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, man. I'm disappointed. It just seems stupid. It seems dumb, and it just seems like the boxy sort of look of everything. It just looks so fucking bad to me. I don't know. I'm not loving it. I'm open to having my mind changed. I really am. I mean, I'm just giving you first impressions based off of what I've seen. I haven't played any of it, obviously,
absolutely.
But like,
right. But if it's full retail, like, I'm not changing my mind for $70.
Even if it's 50 or 40, I'm still not changing my mind. I'm still not going to pay that amount for that game. So, yeah.
Alrighty then. Moving on from that. Huge rumor. Supposedly there is a new prototype in development. Alex Mercer will be back. It'll be set in New York City, and shape-shifting, all that, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if anyone other than me and Jonas possibly played it. Do you want another prototype?
Sure. Yeah, I'm down for that, man. Just, absolutely.
I would love another prototype. I think that'd be fun.
I think it would be awesome. I think that's definitely one of those series that would it would benefit from having a modern facelift and hopefully not buried under a whole bunch of microtransactions for cosmetics and shit.
Oh,
but
God.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So this wasn't exactly news or anything. I just thought it was cool that they finally were legit and out about this. Supposedly PlayStation has a secret underground vault inside a mine shaft containing 200 million files of PlayStation history.
Wow.
It contains everything for source code for 30 years of PlayStation games, source art, audio recordings, prototypes, and more.
Jesus.
Just like, holy shit. Yeah, if I can, hold on. If I can get this open here, I'll just ask.
I mean, that's amazing if true.
Oh, no, it's not breaking up. I just like how it's like their version of the Seed Vault, if anyone knows what that is. There's this giant underground vault, and I believe it's Norway, that no one's allowed to go into, that is basically the apocalypse vault full of all these billions upon billions of seeds in case the world goes to shit. We need to replant everything.
Oh.
Oh, it's great. Alrighty. So, moving on from that, possibly another game in development. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker remake is supposedly in development. David Hayter has teased the development of Peace Walker remake in an interview. Konami has invited me, Robert Atkin Downs, and Vanessa Marshall for something top secret this month. Now what I can say is peace out.
Nice.
If they're gonna keep making more Metal Gear stuff, Peace Walker would be a cool one to do. I'm just saying. Yeah. All right. I need to make sure I have something ready because we're gonna hit it pretty quick. Do I have that photo ready? I do. All right. So, me and Mike are about the only ones that have seen the Devil May Cry anime, but I did want to talk about it a little bit. We're not going to go into giant spoilers, but off the rip, the one thing I need to talk about the most is my biggest disappointment with this series is that it introduced one of my favorite characters that Kevin Conroy's ever voiced.
Yeah. He was so good in that role. I am wondering, did he record enough for a second season, or are they going to have to get what was his name, Ian James?
Well, that's what I was just about to ask you. I'm kind of thinking that maybe he didn't because of that guy who had to redo it, or maybe they have all the stuff done, but they just needed to have him do reworkings of certain lines.
It's possible. And also, given that this is a Netflix series, I legitimately have no idea whether or not this season 2 is like a genuine like renewal, or if it's just the back half of.
I have a seeking suspicion it's the latter.
That's what I'm thinking as well, which is why I'm questioning whether or not we'll continue to hear Kevin Conroy, or if it's going to be Ian James Corlett.
Yeah. Kiona, I'm telling you right now, you are going to absolutely love the character that Kevin voices.
Nice.
Love. It's the first time Kevin Conroy gets to play like a dickhead.
Oh, I'm excited for that. Yeah, absolutely.
He's an overly religious.
I love it.
Like how do I want to say this?
A zealot?
Yeah, to a degree. It's basically my ends to means for how I interpret. And this is the biggest thing that everyone that just either watch that show with the biggest horse blinders I've seen in my entire life, or just saw a clip and thought this is what happened. The entire point of the show is not saying religion is bad. I'm not saying anyone has to think religion is good, but the point of the thing is VP Baines is a villain because he's using religion for his means.
Yes.
This guy is using religion badly. But yeah, he's just awesome. Johnny does great. It is still weird at points me hearing Nero being Dante. But
yeah.
The music choices, I will say, in the show are all very on point. There is one, and it's the very last thing you hear. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to spoil it. I want anyone who's going to watch that show to hear it for themselves. I don't think, punching you in the nose or hitting you directly in the nose with something. This is telling you I'm going to punch you in the nose as I'm punching you in the nose with it. But and a certain song plays, and it is are we talking about Devil May Cry? Sadly, I haven't played the games yet, but I love the show. Nice. Red, I will tell you, you're the exact thing that I wanted to happen because of this show. This show is an expressly different canon from what the games are, which is perfectly fine. This is basically official fan fiction. That is what this show is. There is giant details that are switched, but I want people that if they like this series enough, like Red, to then go, hey, I want to play the games, and everyone's open to their own opinion. my version of the story that you get in is done better in the games to me than it is in the than it was Red. The only thing I would say that is slightly different with Dante is a person who cracks jokes, but he's not. Here's the thing. There's the joke cracking scale. Deadpool's here.
Mm-hmm.
Dante's here.
Mm-hmm.
The show leaned a lot more towards Deadpool. Dante is the guy who is like aware of the fact that it is damn near fucking impossible to kill him. So he's just kind of bebopping his way through life. Like a perfect example is like there's this demon called the Riot that comes up in a big spinning ball and is like charging up against the barrier in front of you. And like Dante just lightly walks himself up to him and like sits his face next to it to try and shave his cheek and then like walks away. Dante is a trash talker, but he's not an overly talkative person.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing they kind of changed with Dante in the show. I'm not saying he doesn't trash talk people in the games, because he very much does. The only... Oh,
he just chooses his moments.
Yeah, the confidence is still there. Red, I would say the confidence is through the roof. It's just more even than in the show. It's just, he goes less out of his way to be like, I'm whatever. It just naturally oozes out of him. Dante in Devil May Cry 5 is the most stylishly confident, just dude walking around ever. Red, the way that one of the game directors described what Devil May Cry is that it's a slasher film, but you're playing the slasher. So essentially, the problem is in level 20, and it's just waiting for the fact that Dante is going to reach it eventually, and it's going to die. It knows this, but it's trying to put shit in your way to delay you long enough to where you don't get to it. But yeah, Red, if you like the show, you will absolutely love it. The guy who voices Dante in the show voices my favorite character in the games, which is a little bit closer to what Dante is in that show. His name is Nero. He's also voiced by Johnny Young Bosch. And the thing with Dante originally was that they wanted to make a hero that was cool, but he did not have to swear, drink, smoke, or have sex with women to be considered cool. Capcom wanted to have a genuinely awesome hero. So, like, Nero shows up in DMC4 and says, bitch, and that's considered, whoa, what the hell? Like, but now, like, they curse a little bit more in 5, but that's what it is. But, yeah. Red, you'll absolutely love DMC. It's just, it's going to be weird how you want to go through them because they're not in chronological order at first. I believe it goes 3, 1, 2, 4, 5. But if you want to just play 5 and 4, I can give you the lore rundown and everything will be fine, but I suggest you play through all of them. In the show, they do a little bit more to humanize demons, or at least make you want to humanize demons, like actual refugee demons and some other things. In the games, they have demons that have humanity to them, like Trish and Lucia, who shows up. It's that red-haired girl that shows up for like one scene when they're rounding up the devil hunters, which is weird because in the game she's actually a demon who is made to specifically go trick Dante to go like investigate a village. So that's another little itty-bitty thing that changed. But yeah, it's very good. And I'm happy they're getting a season 2 because legitimately any and all problems I had with the show, which were very minor, can be changed in season 2.
They can improve upon it.
Actual, if we're talking about me being deadly serious, the only problem that I honest to God have with the show is outside of her not liking demons because what they did to her parents, Lady is borderlining a completely different character.
as someone who hasn't played the games, I didn't mind Lady.
Red? You're gonna fucking love Lady in the games if you agree with me. Lady has never sworn once in the games. She meets up with Dante in Devil May Cry 3 because in the games, her mom is... I gotta remember this correctly. Her mom is either just killed by her dad or her mom is sacrificed by her dad to, like, try and access the demon realm. Red, essentially, the rabbit's entire quest to get the Sparta sword and the 2 amulets is done by Lady's dad in the game. And then Lady is this more toned down, kind of just like stoic, but a little bit like sick of Dante's shit person. She doesn't cuss all the time. She's not like an overly in-your-face girl bossy type of character. None of that's there. She's not on a squad, which I didn't mind the squad, but she's not on like a government listed kill squad. She's just a person that wants to get revenge on her dad. And then she does. And then she finds out through Dante that, hey, not all demons are horrible. Like eventually you have a boss fight with her in 3 and she goes, I'm out of my league here. Hey, this is my thing. Go take care of the dude. I'll watch your back while you go take care of it. Like they become friends within like 5 hours within the game because they come to an understanding where both of them are dealing with fucked up parents on both ends of the demon and human spectrum. And they become like a mutual understanding very fast that she's like, what the hell do you mean that you're a regular person? Or you're like, another thing that's very different, Red, in the games, he knows that he's half demon. That's not a surprise. And he's trying to like work this out with Lady. So like their characterization of Lady kind of kicks a lot of stuff in a bad way for people that know the games first. So see your chant. See Umbreon. So if you start playing them, Red, honestly, let me know. And I will happily be a question answer or anything, but trust me, I will bet you on my house that you will love Lady in the games. Trust me. You see her in 3, 4, and 5. Lady is a full-on hired hunter for Devil May Cry and has one of my favorite attires for a character ever in 4. And then she's just an awesome, like, happy going, hey, how's it going? Like, just chilled out, like, demon hunting specialist in 5. She's one of the best, like, just side female characters in gaming, period, to me. And yeah, that's the only thing they kind of did dirty. And it felt like they didn't quite know how to make her be who she was without overdoing it. And the consistent swearing was a really big turnoff.
That being said, episode 6 is still one of the best episodes of the series.
If you would have, I'm not going to like ruin it for Kiona, but I'll just say this. If you would have told me one of my favorite things from Devil May Cry ever was an episode about Lady's backstory and a villain's backstory intertwined with 2 different art styles and no dialogue, I would have smacked you in the face. They literally have like 2 lines and it's one of the best animated things I've ever seen. And then like they weave Afterlife by Evanescence into it. It's awesome. It's really good. It's legitimately one of the best animated things I've seen in like the past couple of years.
Yeah, it is genuinely a work of art.
Oh, it's so good.
I'll check it out over the week.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
before we wrap this up, we have to. Brock, do you have the picture of Adi Shakura's Dante from Much Cosplay? Yeah.
Maybe. Give me a second. I'll see if I can find it. Adi Shankar.
Because I took a bad picture of it. I was like, no.
Oh, there he is. I got a video. Let's see if I can get like, oh my gosh. He's such
It's Dante from Wish.
Yeah, it's... Have you ever got to get Dante from Temu? I love Adi. He's such a nerd, but man, that didn't look good. Oh, yeah.
Fucking Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
fucking great.
Yeah, it was great. But yeah, no, it's it's legitimately one of my favorite game series of all time, and you're not going to hear me say that the series can't happen. And like in the series, you have an enemy from 1, you have 2 enemies from 3, Agni and Ruger, you have Echidna who's from 4, you have Cavalier Angelo, the big like weird dude from 5. They just had a mishmash of shit that's in there, which is fine if you're going to adapt it, whatever, because they have a lot of villains that you're not going to just go through the same shit with.
Yeah, that's one thing that kind of bothered me reading a bunch of the reactions of the show is they're treating this like an abomination, like the Netflix Resident Evil series or some other bad video game adaptations. Like, guys, no, it's not that bad.
No, and I don't know, but everyone's always just going to be upset. Red, if you do stream them and you ever stream them in the afternoon, let me know, because I'm normally at work when you stream and I would genuinely love to watch you stream those. But, all right. Anyways, moving on to the next thing. Anyone, please, whether you've played it or not, just go watch it. I absolutely loved it. And it may not be the thing that's perfect for you, but just trust me, as what I just saw with Red, the thing is doing what I want it to do. Because Devil May Cry is a series that does good for Devil May Cry, but it does not sell like Resident Evil and Monster Hunter does. And they're also games that are incredibly hard to make to please that fan base because they need to do things certain ways. And it's one of those things where Capcom goes every 10 years, yeah, sure, you can have another one. So if this surges new players and gets more to do, we'll get more Devil May Cry in the games and the show, and the people that are diehard dumbasses can have theirs, and the people that can be okay and enjoy both, like me, can have both. It's almost like we could get more. Why not both?
Well, what, like the taco commercial. Why not both?
Yes,
exactly.
Absolutely. All right. Now back to some more things like that. So I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently Viz Media has been in a heck of a tussle with some people selling bad or like illegal Ruby merch.
Really?
Oh boy.
Viz Media wins up to $26 million in damages following Ruby lawsuit over copyright and trademark infringement. Manga publisher Viz Media has won its lawsuit for just against over 100 entities found to have willingly committed trademark and copyright infringement of the anime-inspired Ruby franchise. Of the several orders issued by the United States District Court in the Northern Division of Illinois, infringers are now banned from engaging in counterfeiting activity, will have their marketplace accounts shut down on various sites, their websites disabled and transferred under Viz Media's control, and perhaps most notably will pay damages to Viz.
Oh, it must have been bad now, because they're obviously not talking about, like, fan merch.
No. Yeah, Ruby is another one that, like, everyone, give it a chance. People got really pissy when the show all of a sudden got a plot in Volume 3, and then were mad when it wasn't just high school adventures, when the guy who made the show openly said it was not going to be that for forever, and then teased stuff that was going to happen in Volume 3, in Volume 2, and then he passed away before Volume 3, and everyone's like, they rewrote the whole show in roughly 5 hours before the next episode.
First of all, that's not how animation works. And
no.
Second, like, it's pretty well documented that, like, Monty Ohm left a Bible of, like, the next couple arcs.
Of the entire show. He has an outline of the entire show. They just need to create the median points. And also, everyone who says that, hey, they're butchering his story and his family would be upset. Here's the thing. The guy that broke an NDA and bitched out that he said that everyone's disobeying blah, 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 and this is a guy who's documented to be a super creep weirdo and can't get jobs anywhere because he's an obsessive douchebag, and got fired because he's an obsessive douchebag. Do you know that Monty's lines and stuff were changed while he was alive, and Monty was okay with it because that's how the creative process works? And also, if they were butchering it that bad, do you think that Monty's brother would openly step in to take over the role? Or would he tell them to fuck off? Would Monty's family openly go to RTXs and praise them about how good of a job they're doing honoring their fallen family member. No, they would tell them to fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
And all these people are like, I know personally, Monty told me he wouldn't want him to do that thing that I wouldn't know would happen until 4 years from now, but I totally asked him about it 5 years ago. And he totally told me confidential things about a show he's writing. He totally told me that.
Right, with my uncle who works at Nintendo.
Yeah, you know more than the people that worked with him for like 5 years on multiple things, including this show. Stop being these dumbasses. You can not like something. If you don't like Ruby, say you don't like it. Don't be the dumbass that goes, Monty wouldn't have wanted this. You don't fucking know that. Shut up. Just say you don't like it. Don't come up with excuses to prove it. You don't need excuses for your opinion. Just have it. It's so dumb. I hate that for, I don't like this and you need to not like it also.
You know, it's funny. I saw this today with one of my clients, and this is like the 1 second I did lurk on Twitter. There's people still pissed off about the She-Ra reboot because they made Catra an actual character and not just boobs that sell toys.
Guys, it's been 5 years.
God forbid.
Let it go already.
God forbid she has a personality and she's not just a pair of tits. Say the line, Bart. You don't deserve women.
And it was like a weird thing. Like, people think, oh, they can't have like complicated characters. They're like, but this character did bad things. But did she grow from it? So you're saying if someone does bad things, they should just go to hell and never have a chance of redemption. Cool.
Red, that's my biggest problem with everyone's critiques nowadays. You have to not like it as well. Just be like, It's just, But anyways, yeah, it's, a lot of characters didn't have a story, got a chance with the reboot. Yeah, absolutely. That's what you can do. You can actually give stuff that, and that's the thing where people will legitimately be upset, be like, that character didn't have a point before. They were just there, and that upsets me. It's a reboot. Why are you upset if someone got extra lines?
But it's like so different. Brock, if you like Ruby, I legitimately think you would like She-Ra 2018.
Oh, I don't doubt that I wouldn't. I absolutely not.
It's very, very anime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Trust me, it's on the mile-long docket that I have. All right. From some stupid things onto some good things. A stunt design category is coming to the Oscars. The Board of Governors of AMPAS has announced that the creation of an annual competitive Academy Award for Achievement in Stunt Design beginning with the 100th Oscars for films released in 2027.
It's about fucking
time. Yes. Good Lord. I saw a cosplayer that I'm a huge fan of, Julia Maggio, was just like, ah! She's that girl that always cosplays Hanji. She's just losing her shit.
Like, the only downside, and this is like so predictable of the internet, people will bitch that this is a way to give, Marvel films the Oscars. I'm like, you know what? Fuck off. Like, seriously, just fuck off.
You know what? Just because that doesn't mean that Marvel's going to win them.
Do they not understand that stunts has been a thing since?
Like, I mean, haven't they been trying to push this since
nothing
like the
existed
80s?
beforehand.
Mm-hmm. I know. Silly me. I forgot that.
Well, it's like here's the thing. Probably some of the best stunt coordination in Marvel, to me, would be most of the fights in the Winter Soldier. That's some of their and
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, thank you.
Yeah.
If that and the Raid were in the same year, I don't care how good Shang-Chi was. It's going to the Raid.
It's going to the Raid, yeah.
Not just because Shang-Chi's a Marvel movie. Like, if they were going to win awards because they're Marvel movies, you think Marvel would win some more?
Yep.
I know. It's like just insane the amount of discourse. And here's like one thing, this is like a side tangent.
Yeah.
I am fucking sick of like all these like news outlets and like fan sites that do clickbait things to make actors say things that will purposely get people angry. Like there's
and then you read the article, and it's like something that's totally not at all what they said.
I mean, did you see the thing with Toph's actress for the live action Netflix Avatar show?
Girly.
Yeah, I saw that.
Her whole personality is that she's a tomboy.
That's not the part that upset me though. It's when she said like, "Oh, I have to be more girly because it's not the cartoon."
Okay, this is awfully funny that they're not seeing what makes the character popular with a blind character.
It's just the whole thing of like this thing, and like I don't even know why they fucking ask actors these questions. Like it's literally the same question that they asked for like Rachel Zegler. Like, why do you keep asking? It's like the Marvel question. Why do you keep asking these? What does this have to fucking do with anything?
It's to get them a thing. That's like you said with the Marvel thing. Director that would never do Marvel. I can get a really saucy comment out of annoying you. Would you want to say something, baby?
Oh my god.
All right. Anyways, speaking of Marvel, Vincent D'Onofrio has let it out that his Kingpin literally can't appear in MCU films. I'm only usable for television shows, not even a one-off Wilson Fisk movie. It's all cut up in rights and stuff. I don't know when that would work out or if it ever would work out at all.
Objection, Your Honor. Explain Spider-Verse.
That is an animated movie that he is also not a part of and is not the MCU version.
True.
Because by that own blanket statement, then they shouldn't be allowed to use about a lot of other things that aren't in that movie.
The rights for these characters can get very confusing because, like, we saw Kingpin in the Fox Daredevil movie, so I'm a little confused. I'm a little confused, like the difference between film and television and who owns what,
and like Daredevil can appear in a Spider-Man movie. I don't.
Yeah,
it's weird.
My hope is that
because like they couldn't even mention Spider-Man in Daredevil. They had to say a guy dresses like a spider.
See that at least you can explain away with like, oh, so Sony owns like the rights to the character, but Marvel can only use him for like animated series.
You know what I'm almost wondering what it is, and this is the reason why the Fantastic Four movies technically under the 20th Century label is because
haven't time-lapsed the rights yet.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Oh, then that means he's still time-lapsed with Netflix then.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's honestly what it is.
So I think it's double duty. So the fact that he's in any like MCU things at all is actually kind of surprising.
Yeah, so I it's literally going to be, you'll know he's in a movie when that shit finally hit the ticker. Which is hilarious.
And who knows, maybe that will happen sooner than we think.
Yeah, I think for the Fantastic Four, it expires next year.
Maybe. I just love how hilarious it is that even though they bought the company that owned the rights, they still don't technically have the rights. I love how stupid the legality of all that is. Like, it's within our own company, but it's still next door, and we can't use it's
U.S. copyright law, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Kevin Feige has stated that Avengers Doomsday will focus on the Avengers, wide-branching term, that one, Wakandans, Fantastic Four, the Thunderbolts, and original X-Men all fighting Doctor Doom. So, what the movie would be.
Pretty much what we based off of the chair
Wow.
stream.
By the way, I want to share a fan theory that a friend of mine had about who John Malkovich is playing in Fantastic Four. So he speculates that Malkovich is playing the real Doctor Doom, and somehow he, like, with magic and science and mumbo jumbo, he transforms himself to look like the hero of the MCU. So he physically turns himself into Tony Stark.
Here's the problem with that. It makes the decision of Robert Downey Jr. even worse then, because they've whitewashed a Romanian character 2 times over then. They whitewashed him and then made him turn into another white guy to play him. If that's what they did.
You know what? It's crazy. Again, just to tie into my podcast, I still cannot believe the 1994 version of Doctor Doom is
the most accurate version of the character.
Like, he has the accents, like he lives in a fucking castle.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best live-action Doom we'll probably ever get, and that kind of terrifies me, and that sucks.
That's sad. That's really sad.
And fucking Roger Corman's unreleased Fantastic Four movie that I got the most crusty crab-ass quality version from the Internet Archive. And, like, and the guy who played Doom actually, like, wasn't bad. And it just sucks. I'm like, because I was looking over between 2005 and, like, 2015 or whatever, and no accent.
Yeah.
Like, they're basically Doom in name only.
Well, they were also afraid to just give him magical powers.
Yeah, they stopped short at, like, the costume and, like, electrical powers, but that's about it.
And then the second one was just, like, looked like the villain of, like, System Shock, and then he could make heads explode. I know, I'm probably one of the only people that watched that fucking movie.
Yeah, I watched just parts of it where it's like the science experiment gone wrong, and then I'm like, okay, great movie. Bye, guys. Oh no, did we break Brock's headphones again?
Oh no.
Stand by for technical difficulties.
Man, we should really make like an overlay for that.
I love how easy I can just switch that out. I know I have to thank the stupidest fucking movie on the planet for it, but thou shall not be named. Anyway, yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you, I like John Malkovich as an actor, but if that ends up being who's playing Doctor Doom, I like that less than Robert Downey Jr.
I don't think it will be him. It's just an interesting theory.
No, but I agree with you, Brock. Like, I legit might hate that.
Yeah. Like,
I do think we should get, like, an actual Romani actor to play Doom,
and they should give him a chance after RDJ's dunks. It's supposedly only for these 2 movies.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Which they probably won't, because they'll be like, we want Robert Downey Jr. back. Anyway, so we're going to talk about some common sense stuff. AMC CEO Adam Aaron says that 3 major studios have agreed that they need to bring back the 45-day theoretical window. It's a good start. No shit. And Paramount is giving advice to movie theaters. Limit trailers, no ads, matinee pricing until 6 p.m., and discounted tickets on multiple weekdays. I agree with everything in that.
Yeah, that makes too much sense. Who is this, and what have you done with Paramount?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, why is it coming from a studio like Paramount? Jesus.
Yes, absolutely. You got
it. I will say one thing. Instead of 45 days, it should be 90. No, 100. 100 days minimum.
I would shit a brick if we got 90, but
I think I talked to you about this, Mike. I think it should be 120, because then that's like 4 months.
I'd be okay with that.
You could give them the total 4-month window, and then, like, if the thing's legitimately not making money, you're allowed to pull it. But if that thing is raking in cash, it should stay.
Yeah, you mean kind of like what Universal's policy is. Like, if it's after two weeks, then you can do, like, VOD.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I mean, it's kind of scummy, but also I don't disagree. If your film's not doing well and you're trying to recoup your losses, like, I get that. I don't particularly have like a deep issue with that, but the fact that everything was like on like home video in under a month is like ridiculous.
Sonic would have made a ton more money if it
oh
could have
yeah,
stayed in
absolutely.
theaters.
Especially since, you know, I didn't see it. I probably won't. That stupid Mufasa Lion King movie, like, it just went on Disney Plus like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, because it just like it just kind of stuck around for the entire theatrical run.
All right. Anyway, so in an interesting turn, we talked about that Disney Plus and Hasbro's live action remake series is coming. Apparently, both Toei and Saban are not involved whatsoever.
So does that mean this is going to be like a totally original Power Rangers series? Like no reused footage from
That's what it sounds
Super
like
Sentai?
to me.
Yeah, it's not. From what I heard, it is. I don't remember if it said it was a reboot, but it is not going off of any of the Sentai stuff whatsoever, which is interesting. Which that might just mean openly that gives you the thing of like, well, they're not obviously doing anything other than that really cool scene where they had the original Megazord wearing a freaking like cape for whatever reason in that one shot I saw the other day. That they might be redoing the original season, which you obviously wouldn't have any footage to take because, you know, they're not touching that shit now. They just keep moving on. But I don't know.
You know what I almost kind of wonder if they're doing? If they're gonna do like a Voltron-esque take on it, but obviously, hopefully a different outcome and a better fan base.
Yeah, like... the thing I don't want them to do, and everybody had different opinions on it, they had that one fucking trailer for a darker Power Rangers whatever thing forever ago. I don't mind if they make Power Rangers more adult, but like they had literal moments in that trailer and then Bulk and Skull became drug addicts. Like, we don't need that. We don't.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, and it's the fan film that was like,
oh god, like as dark as the film did, like the actual teenage stuff, like that was as dark and gritty as Power Rangers should be. Like,
perfect.
That was the ceiling. Like, no more than that.
Yeah. Like, you could now you could do some of what Sentai used to do. They used to straight up kill Power Rangers and replace them. People don't like to know that. You can look up the scenes. They would like blow off people's helmets clean over in Japan. They just obviously weren't doing that on Fox Kids. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm going to be there for it. I'm a Power Rangers kid at heart, and I always will be. I just have differing opinions on certain people because apparently they think Hitler had some real bangers. Anyway, moving on from stupid things said by Austin St. John. Zach Krieger says his Resident Evil film will focus on one central protagonist going on an A to B journey, slowly falling more into hellish territory. And it'll be in theaters September 2026. Shocking. They're going to make the movies how they should be.
Weird.
It kind of makes it seem like, now give or take, the first one does involve like 6 people. I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be them either following Chris or Jill on the Stars team, but the Stars team is just there and they're not main characters. And then in the next movie, someone's a main and the other one's a severely B character, which could work. If they're even following the games, they haven't said that, like, point A to point B for the games, but if they have like the environments like the Spencer Mansion, some other stuff, that's fine. Just don't make a character with supernatural powers for no reason, like Alice, where she can make people's heads explode through video cameras.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, would you prefer that the movies take like the approach of like the Fallout series and just tell its own story but set in the world of the games?
Here's the problem with Fallout compared to Resident Evil. Resident Evil is about zombies, obviously. The thing is, Resident Evil follows people that are freakazoid, just freaks of nature that are allowed to deal with this stuff better than anybody. And part of the appeal is they love those characters that much. Fallout is, you're a guy with no name, you're set out in the desert, go find your son, or whatever. In Resident Evil, you're clearly doing stuff with certain characters, and they're very much tied to a certain thing, and then you go in throughout that. Those movies that Anderson did had all of those parts and did a lot of those things. They just threw it in a blender, hit frappe, and slapped it up against the wall, and then let it fall where they fell.
Up on pretty much everything about it, like the order of it and the way that characters met, and everything was off.
Yeah, so it is very much more. Fallout is you're a guy with no name. These are these freakazoid, just out of control, normal humans that go do stuff. Now, you could take those normal humans and make them get to that point in a different order. Just don't make another Alice.
Oh, God.
Like, you could change how they get there. Like, if the stuff in the mansion happens different, or if she uncovers stuff about Umbrella, whatever. I'd like to focus on Chris and Jill. But they could still get there doing different versions. Just, the people in Resident Evil are humans that shouldn't be able to kill the things that they are. So it's kind of making you believe that the STARS team can do this shit because that's who they are. And then they have someone like Ethan Winters in 7 and 8 who is purposely shown to be a loser. Like, he makes bad jokes on purpose. Like, he's just a loser dad who happens to be caught up in a thing and survives all the shit he's going through because he's not human. So you have to see what the hell they're all doing with that.
Last question before we move on.
Okay.
Who would you cast as Jill?
Oh boy.
Oh, I have a take. I'm just, give me a sec, because I don't want to.
I'm really.
Oh, and now I remember. Okay, here's wild out of the blue. What about Hunter Schafer?
Okay, I could see that.
That's not a bad shout. I don't know a lot of her filmography, but
she's in that one. She's in Euphoria, and
Euphoria.
she's in a Kojima game.
Okay. Oh, okay. I honestly have to sit and think about it. Like, I wish they'd bring Robbie Amell back to be Chris Redfield, because that was inspired fucking cast, and he looks exactly like the character model in the RE1 remake, and he's a really good actor. But the only thing I can say, if you're doing this remake, you need to bring in Anthony Starr to be Wesker.
Yes.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Has to happen.
His Homelander is legitimately just Wesker in RE5. It's just that, except Wesker is somehow more of a douchebag. I don't know how to explain it to you. He just is. But yeah, I honestly have to think who I want to cast as Jill, because Jill's legitimately one of my favorite characters in fiction of all time. The woman has to ooze "I could fucking kill you with my finger" energy. She's called Super Cop for a reason. You'd have to figure out how they want to do that. But anyway, all right. This isn't exactly news, but it was just a really cool snippet that I found that I thought was funny. Christopher Walken says Bugs Bunny is one of his favorite actors. He told Ben Stiller that a lot of times I played roles as if I was Bugs Bunny, but no one ever knew. That explains so much.
Yeah.
It honestly really does.
Just like, I sat there and I thought about most of the roles and what he does. I'm like, Bugs Bunny is who I would say you were close to as a person. You're a little bit more New York gangster version of Bugs Bunny than he is in the most parts, but yeah. All right. So now we're on to the other, just a random schmoz of stuff. The Korea Music Group Music Copyright Association, KOMCA, now requires artists to declare if AI is used in the creation of a song. Songs involving AI will not be eligible for copyright registration. If AI is used and falsely denied, KOMCA will suspend royalties and remove the work.
Good for them.
That is amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's perfect. Use AI, you don't get this shit. Lie to me about it, you're shut down and you don't get any help. You get nothing.
We need something like that in the US.
Yes. It doesn't shock me that Korea is one of the first people to crack down like that. But yeah, so I'm going to do something that's a little bit somber before we get to the fun thing. So this podcast is normally bi-weekly, but so we kind of skipped out on something. In between the podcasts, Kilmer passed away.
Yeah.
I know that we at least sit here a little bit talking some of our favorite roles of his. Like my favorite Batman movie of all time is Forever. And he's, in my opinion, unbelievably underrated as Bruce Wayne and Batman in that film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Iceman, obviously, Doc Holliday. Even his villain in MacGruber is fucking hilarious. Like, I'm just remembering that scene where he's tied to, I think it was a nuke, where, like, MacGruber takes him down and ties him down. He's like, he'll never how to fake to take down that bomb in time. He goes, well, that's good, because I'm just going to start ripping shit out of here. And he starts doing all this stuff, and he's just like, oh, come on, that's weak. He's just screaming.
Of course, he has one of my favorite lines in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
This is the idiot line.
Yep.
No.
Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find? A picture of me? No, the definition of the word idiot, which you fucking are.
His line delivery was just so good.
And then, of course, I have to talk about the Prince of Egypt because...
Absolutely.
Because his version of Moses and the voice of God are absolute perfection. Like it's that and Ray Fiennes like performance as like the two brothers is why I prefer this to the Ten Commandments. Mm-hmm. Like as great and epic as that movie is, there's just more heart to the Prince of Egypt.
Oh, absolutely. That whole entire film is fantastic.
Yeah, like it's probably like it's like crazy, and this is like again controversial to say. I don't think DreamWorks ever hit that peak again. No. At least not of the 2D stuff.
No, not even remotely. Yona, you got any favorite roles of his we haven't mentioned?
Well, you guys mentioned Batman. You mentioned Doc Holliday. You mentioned pretty much. I am in complete agreement with you, and I think that for me, I didn't expect to go in Top Gun Maverick and tear up at a Val Kilmer cameo, but fuck me, I did.
And that being the last time we see him on screen makes that scene hit even harder.
It makes that scene hit so hard, and I was just
and you know what? And this is like the only time like I think AI was kind of okay because it was an assist with him. It wasn't the whole performance as much as people will tell you that it was. It was just to assist him in his delivery, and the fact that he could do that, and at least he could go out on top like that.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
I love that scene. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it made the movie a million times better than it already was. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody should watch that documentary as well that they made based on his life and based on his his struggle with his health issues and everything. So go watch Val if you can.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that was so freaking awesome. All right, on to our final subject. The most important time of the year is this weekend. No, not Easter, WrestleMania. So
that's right. Been to the mountaintop, brother.
My very Catholic grandmother will be rolling in her grave. I love you, Grandma. I still go to church. Don't worry. But I'm watching WrestleMania. All right. So I just figured we could run through the matches and just talk about what we're thinking and what our predictions are. So, alrighty. Let's start at the bottom of this card here, which, by the way, each day is going to be 9 hours long.
Jesus.
But that's encompassing all of the pre-show and all of the post-show.
Why do you need a 3-hour pre-show?
I have no idea.
Because, okay, I am very okay with, I don't remember who I was talking with this about. I'm very okay with the preamble, interviews afterwards, because they can kayfabe a lot of that shit. And you also get moments like where Cody and Jay were obviously fucking hammered. at that one
I know,
press
it was
conf-
great.
That was the best thing those two have ever done in their
That was the
careers.
best.
But
You can have Punk eating donuts. I mean,
Yes.
it's awesome.
yeah, but the whole. I understand that they make it a more sports feel, and I actually like them talking about bringing up old and other facts, but we have a 3-hour long ESPN knockoff for matches that you know the outcomes of.
Yeah.
I don't
I
need
don't
your
mind
thoughts
it
on
being
it
like
for 3
an
hours.
hour long or even 2 hours long.
An hour would be
But
awesome.
3 hours?
Yeah. What are you filling that with?
What are you doing?
And it's not the Hall of Fame either, because the Hall of Fame is happening after SmackDown on Friday.
That's right. Yeah.
I don't. Oh, but
I know they're probably going to bring over some of the legends and stuff and
well,
interview them.
that. But it's like the thing that is
You don't
driving
need 3
people.
hours for that.
Yeah, because the shows are only going to be 4 hours long, and titles that are not being defended, the SmackDown tag team titles,
Yeah.
the
Seems like they're
women's
not having a lot of titles.
Intercontinental and U.S. titles,
Odd.
and there was one other one. I can't remember what it is. I thought there was another one, but it's just we're having all these titles. And certain people that should be having matches, and it's just kind of like, we can't figure you out because we only want to make it 4 hours long. I'm not saying you need to have one 12-hour long WrestleMania like they used to have, but each show could be 6 hours, have a 1 hour pre-show and a 2 hour after show and still get your 9.
Yep.
But, all right. Anyway, so starting off, we have the Intercontinental Women's Champion not defending her title, and they like to not bring that up on TV. And Bailey facing off against Kevin Nash, Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv Morgan.
Jesus.
So I think that Liv and Raquel are going to win.
Yeah.
It's going to set up
that's
that. Obvious.
and it's going to set up something possibly between Bailey and Lyra.
Yeah. How long has Bailey been a face? So,
Ever since she got turned on by Damage Control, so a little bit before WrestleMania last year.
Okay. So it's been about a year. Yeah, I think she's probably getting tired of being a face. She'll probably go back to being a heel.
Yeah. What are you thinking, Brie?
Let's see that.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the same way, and I do actually have my own theory about Seth, Punk, and Roman.
We'll get there. I'm gonna go in a row.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm yeah.
You're feeling about the same way with Leah and Riv. Leah. Oh my God. Liv. Raquel and Lyra and Bailey. You're thinking those two are gonna win?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next we have the War Raiders versus the New Day. I don't know how to call that one. I could honestly see that going either way.
I could see that going either way too. I don't know. Do you
The New Day
I
don't
could see
need
them
titles.
putting it on the New Day just to
Yeah,
get
that's what I
heat
was
on
about to
them.
say. I was just about to I'm leaning it more towards the New Day too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Justify
why.
the
It
heel
just
turn.
kind of feels like the momentum's more in their favor. I don't know why. I could be completely wrong.
Is
Just
it
to get
kind of
heat on them, really.
just justify their heel turn, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then you can
Yeah.
also accelerate, like you can then move into the whole, like, what are they doing with, where are they actually going with this whole storyline
Yeah, I
that
don't
they
know.
kind of started and now it's just kind of petered out.
Yeah, you got me with that one. I'm not really sure. I just think they had the we're gonna turn up evil on Big E, but then we didn't have a whatever. But
Yeah, and then we
All
didn't
right.
have a payoff.
next we have Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. I literally have no idea who should win this match.
I'm pretty sure Drew is.
Given this
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, just shot in the dark. That seems like
Yeah,
a Drew
I
win.
mean, because he's been screwed over so many times this season.
Yeah.
Like, just give him a W. Just give him a little cookie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he
feel
got
like
to
he
be
needs a win.
world champion last year for roughly 2 minutes. So,
That
so
was great.
give him a little moment in the sun.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
definitely.
So next, another one that can honestly kind of go both ways, but I know which way I want it to go is Jade Cargill versus Naomi.
Mhm.
I kind of don't want Jade to lose again this closely because they gave her a loss against Liv.
I know, that was
That's insane.
Yeah. But I kind of feel like Jade's gonna kill Naomi.
Yeah, I feel like, she's on her full revenge tour. And after the shenanigans the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
I think, do you not think it's a little bit dependent on what they do with Bianca?
Well, here's the thing. It kind of sounded like Jade's match happens before Bianca's.
Okay.
Which, if I'm wrong,
that could be an indication of what they do then
yes,
the opposite direction.
Absolutely, because I feel like they want to run Jade versus Bianca as a program.
Yeah, I do see
so that. We'd have to see.
It's kind of what we thought was going to happen from
I
the
thought
initial
so too. I thought it was going to be
Jade,
Bianca, and some other stuff, but
yeah,
let's see. Bianca might be an overall big fight for the belt. Yeah, we'll see how that old triple threat thing works out. All right, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. I think Chad's gonna win because Rey will easily just let him do it to get it over. Rey is at that point.
Yeah, Rey will let him win, but I mean, I definitely prefer it if Rey won.
Dude, I kind of wish they would have made this a mask for mask match. I kind of wish they would have done that, and then somehow they would have made it mask for mask, and then somehow you actually found someone that could wrestle as good as Chad Gable was his stature, and they actually had a different person be under the mask just for that.
Yeah,
match.
See, now that would be interesting.
That would be fucking
funny. Just to run that, just to gaslight the fans even more, and just be like, look, obviously this isn't Chad Gable,
Absolutely. All right. Next we have the United States, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I love LA Knight. I think Jacob Fatu is going
Jacob
to eat
will
him
kill
alive.
him.
He's going to eat him alive.
No. LA Knight might have to be brought out in a hearse. Like, I'm sorry, dude, but no. Just baby.
I'm just not the biggest LA Knight fan. Although I like
him well enough, but Jacob is just God.
He's a giant.
Jacob's going to be a world champion within 3 years. Like, it's outrageous.
Definitely.
Him and both Braun are going to be like the heads of the company at some point. Jacob is a fucking freak in nature. That guy should not be able to move the way he does. All right. Yeah, I think we're all pretty much in agreement what's going to be happening there. All right. And on to the next one, which I know what I want to happen, but they could do a swerve because this might seem like the obvious one that no one thinks is going to happen differently, is the Intercontinental Championship match, Fatal 4-Way, Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn versus Dominic. If Braun loses that title, I want it to be because he's then going to go after a world title. If that does not happen, I don't want him to lose.
Yes,
agreed. And if he does lose, I want it to be Penta that wins.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Now,
I hope it's not Dom who wins.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
The elephant in the room here is going to be what happens between Finn and Dom. And I messaged our Raw review group with this earlier.
Yes.
Dom for months has been talking about how they need a new member.
Yeah.
And how Finn has not been a good leader, whatever, all this and that and the other thing. And they've been saying shit behind Finn's back to get this Intercontinental title match. Now, I think that, again, I think it's either going to be Penta or Braun that do this, because if they're going to let Braun lose that title, it needs to be something massive. And both Dom and Finn don't need titles, and Penta's brand new and they can put the rub on him. If they have an breakdown during this match where it's Finn and Dom or Finn finally gets sick of Dom's shit.
Yeah.
The rumor going around is that Malachi / Aleister Black has been signed back into the WWE. And if you want to have a person that can be the heavy for the Judgment Day that beats the fuck out of people and happens to also wear dark clothes and is tattooed, Aleister Black could fit that profile pretty well.
Black. Yep.
And if they re-debut him at WrestleMania, that would be pretty good.
Oh, I hope they bring back his old music.
I hope they bring back his old music. I hope they bring back him coming out of the coffin. I hope they bring back all of it. His presentation's freaking great. So we'll see what happens with that. All right. On to the next one. We have AJ Styles versus a douchebag. I mean, Logan Paul.
AJ, please. Oh my God.
Please, God.
No, God, no.
Anything but Logan.
Like the fact that he's even there is like disgusting.
It's advertisement.
Yeah,
That's
agreed.
all it is. It's
They cannot let Logan Paul win.
No.
Because he will be like, he's already an insufferable douchebag, but oh my god.
Yeah.
What is
No,
with
he'll be
the
so much
speech
worse if he
patterns?
wins.
I've been
Logan's?
noticing this over the past few weeks. His speech patterns when he does a promo, they're
Talks
awful.
like a TikToker.
He talks like a fucking dick.
I know.
I just want to.
Well, because he is, and
Yes, I know.
and he just cannot do a fucking promo to save his life. Jesus
he really
Christ!
can't. He
No,
really can't.
which doesn't make sense
The worst.
because he's naturally a cocky douche, and most naturally cocky douches know how to talk trash. Whether they can back it up or not is a different story, but they normally know how to talk it, and he can't do it on screen.
No, he's
He
just
cannot.
bad at everything. I'm like, why is he here? Like, okay, he can throw people, but I'm like, he's like negative charisma.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, he gets the youngins. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I guess so.
all right. And then next, Tiffany Stratton versus plastic surgery. I mean, I'm Charlotte Flair. Tiffany better fucking win this.
Yeah, please, Tiffy time all the way.
Charlotte does not need another goddamn title, and she does not need to be taking it away from one of their stars that needs to be looking good right now.
No, and especially since, I mean, Tiffy seems to be leaning away from like a heel, because I kind of feel like her fully winning that would kind of fully do that turn.
Mm-hmm. It would.
Yeah. I agree.
Absolutely. Alrighty then, moving on to the big hitters here, which I think this should be obvious because otherwise there would be no point in them fucking doing this match. Gunther versus Jay. If Jay does not win this match was pointless.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's lost to him like 4 times already.
Yeah. At this point, it's like Jay had better win, and plus they've been doing their.
And the thing with like Jimmy, like that whole thing.
Yeah, Gunther just being completely an ass and evil to like the nth degree and stuff. I mean,
And I have literally nothing against Gunther. I believe that he is good at promos. I believe that he has the best chops ever been in the game.
Gunther's
He is
great.
a fantastic heel, but I don't
Yes, he
know
is.
what happened. But
they haven't
this
been booking
title
it very
reign
well.
has been nowhere near as good as his Intercontinental title reign was.
No, they haven't been booking him very well. They
No.
haven't done anything with him other than just going after Jay the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, his matches, like, I don't want to say they put me to sleep, but it's just like,
They haven't had the
okay.
excitement. Like, they took Kaiser away from him too. Vinci's not there. It's
Yeah.
kind of feeling like they were purposely like taking the gas off of him just to get him to this point. I don't know, because the dude can go and he's good at everything he does. It's just this world title reign's been kind of I'm glad he got it because he deserved it. He was very good, and his Intercontinental title run is one of the best they've ever done, but it's just weird.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Alrighty, on to the next big one for the ladies. We have Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Bianca Belair. If Rhea wins this match, I might openly start hating Rhea.
Personally, this is what I want plus what I think it would happen, just because comedically I think this would be the funniest outcome, is that Rhea and Bianca are like so focused on each other and then Io pulls out the win.
Oh,
That's
That
what
would
I
be pretty
think is
funny.
going to happen, to be
yep,
honest.
absolutely.
That's what I absolutely think is going to happen.
I think
and like
Io's still
Io's just
doing
gonna
well.
go like full like sicko mode. She's gonna be like, I am tired of being disrespected. I am the champion. Fuck both of you.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they've been pushing it that way.
Oh,
too,
absolutely.
where
And I
she's-
think this is going to be a great showcase for. They have 2 people that are powerhouses, and Io, who needs strong people to flip off of, and they need a little person they can throw around. So I think this is going to be one hell of a match. I think they're going to beat the fuck out of each other, and they set them up purposely to do that. But Rhea and Bianca are going to beat the fuck out of each other, and Io is going to come in and pick the pieces off of it.
And you kind of keep that streak going of Io constantly winning over Rhea, even though Rhea should by rights, by like she should have won by now.
Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering, because there was that thing that they had after Raw, that after she lost to Io, they had her sitting on the back in like the carriers over the equipment and stuff, and she was like breaking down crying where she's like, I've lost everything. And I thought they were going to take her in a new direction with a character switch up because of that, but then they didn't. I'm wondering if they might finally cash in on that after this.
Maybe.
Because she's kind of due for a switch up. She's been this same character for roughly 3 years.
Yeah, maybe.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And now one that I genuinely don't know how to call is Roman, Punk, and Seth.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So here's me and my friend were just talking about this. I think it's going to be Seth.
Okay.
No, hear me out. Okay. Here's like the thing. I personally, and this is like my personal opinion, like the Seth and Punk rivalry, like it's fun. It's just I don't know. I don't dislike it. It's kind of whatever. Punk and Roman, to me, is way more interesting. Plus, I feel like they've been setting this beef more because Seth is like the interconnection, between, both of them, right? But I think Seth he's been a little too in the background, if that makes sense. So that's why I think he's going to take the win. But I think the new Roman and Punk storyline is going to be like, after it's all this and they just super like hate each other's guts.
The only person who I do not see winning this is Roman. It is going to be Punk or Seth, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think Roman's winning it.
Seth could get it for that reason, but also Punk could get it to finally get his WrestleMania whatever, and then he's checked off everything off his list, and it could be Punk winning, and then you have Roman on the ground pinned, and Punk raising his hand, and you get to see Paul go, who do I go? And you have that moment where Paul decides which way he goes.
Yeah, because Paul was like shaken yesterday, which is like, that's kind of, his reaction is sort of like, okay, maybe it's going to be Seth, but honestly, like, it could go like either way. Like,
I went from not giving a shit about this match to loving this match within like a week and a half.
Honestly, like, it's same. Like, low key, like, this might be one of the better storylines that they've been doing lately.
And it's all like, people do not give Paul Heyman enough credit. This dude has not been in a match in his entire life and has been like the backbone of the like past 5 years of WWE programming.
Yep.
He carrying the whole story on his back.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. He basically
all right.
is.
Now.
Yeah, I think for me, I think it's going to be Punk winning myself, but I could see
absolutely.
I could see it going in multiple directions. Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to call.
All right. Now, on to the one that I think it's fairly obvious what they're going to do, but then again, with Cody's first Mania match against Roman, I thought it was fairly obvious what they're going to do, so I don't know. It is Cody versus Cena.
The problem is if Cena doesn't win,
then his whole heel turn was just a waste of time.
Kind of a waste, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I honestly think they're going to do the big 17 just so they can say they did it. And then it's going to be the road to SummerSlam to where seeing if Cody can get his title back or whatever they do, or they might do some stuff with Punk and Cena, whatever they might do. But I honestly think they cannot not do the moment where you see Cena holding up a 17th championship.
Yep, I agree.
And you basically have Cody versus Cena, the Cena of right now versus the old Cena, and then this can decide what they do with Cody, to where if they don't wait 20-something years to turn Cena heel, and this sparks the whatever in Cody to make him go a little nuts.
Cody just seems like he never wants to go heel.
Well, he tried in a really smart way. Well, he did in Ring of Honor, and he tried it in a really smart way in AEW, but no one caught on to it.
So are you saying he might truly be an American Nightmare?
He might be. But it's one of those things where he wanted to be that white hot baby face like his dad was and like what Cena was, to be the representation, and he's gotten it. And I think that after he gets through that, which he is, he's got a heel run in him, and he said that himself. He's like, I could be a heel. It's just right now I don't wanna, because Cody knows how to be a rotten dickhead. I've seen his New Japan stuff and stuff he did in Ring of Honor. That man can be a downright dick when he wants to be. So,
well, I think it would be interesting for him to be a heel, because I'm getting a little tired of the squeaky clean Cody. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of, like, it's become very rehearsed to me. So,
and especially since he has that little bit of a devil side with him, like the "you can't wrestle" references. So he's got like a little bit of spice to him. So it would kind of, be interesting to see a little devil in the shoulder Cody.
Absolutely. And if they turn him to, even if he stays face, but he's a little bit more of a rugged person and it gets a little bit more of a personality change, that wouldn't be bad either.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
So that one's going to be, if they do it the way they should and Cena wins that title, I think the actual arena might explode.
Probably.
Because Cena's a heel and he's still getting cheered. If they get that 17 and you get to see Cena celebrating with that, holy shit. Also,
there will be riots.
Yes. Also, I know he didn't do the, you guys don't get anything new. You don't get a new title. You don't get a new theme song. You don't get a whatever. I really want him to bring back the spinner belt, but make a spinner version of the title, just to be a dick, just to say that you love the representation of this belt. No, it's bringing back to what I was. This is my belt now, and like, oh, that'd be so good. Not the old spinner belt. I want it to be a spinner version of that, because you know what? They can't sell a new theme song. You know what they can sell? Replicas of a new title. And WWE loves nothing more than selling overpriced titles. But yeah, and here's the thing. We still have a Friday before WrestleMania. They could still add another match if they wanted to, because right now the SmackDown tag titles are not in a match right now, so
yeah,
they could still add that.
Yeah, they could add like a little spice at the 11th hour. I wouldn't be shocked if they did.
Because they've been doing stuff with the Street Profits and DIY and Pretty Deadly so much, to not do anything at Mania is really dumb, in my opinion. Also, I have to add a comment. Karrion Kross is becoming one of my favorite people to just see on social media and wrestling, period. Someone was like, you know what? Most people will be upset that they don't have their WrestleMania moment, but me, I'm not. I get to wake up to Scarlett Bordeaux naked tomorrow morning, so I'm okay.
Well, good for you, bud.
You're happy with winning at life, and you're doing good, Carrie, and you do you. I would have that same attitude too. But yeah, anything else before we head on out of here?
I think we covered enough on this one.
Oh, right.
Yeah, just end it on a high.
Yes. Bree, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at crazylemur.bskysocial. I'm also on Instagram at lemurs1. I exist on the internet.
Mike?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/Coach K42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Renegade Pop Culture. You can also find us here on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You can escape, so do we.
Absolutely. Kiona?
Okay, so I am shouting out my friend Red and her stream on Friday, which is going to be a fundraising kind of a stream for her to get to DreamHack in Dallas. That is the idea. So her Twitch channel is some bish named Red. That is BISH, not the other word. I know, how dare I, right? I'm going to be on voice comms with her the whole time on Friday, and it's going to be a 10-hour stream. It's going to start at 12 noon Eastern. and go until 10 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully everybody will stop by. If you can, even if it's just to lurk, even if it's just to share on socials or whatever, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to donate. You can just come and vibe with us and enjoy whatever it is that we have planned. Which reminds me, I got to work on some things anyway. You can also find me on Twitch and Blue Sky at Neoplasmic. You can find me on Instagram and Threads at Neoplasmic81. And you can find me on Twitter at Neoplasmic24.
Absolutely. And for me, I will actually be back to streaming games next week. I know I say that a lot, but holy hell did everything in my life happen in the last few months. And Daredevil will be done this week, so I will have more days open. When we're not having Marvel stuff coming on, I have a lot more free days. But yeah, I will be back to streaming. Obviously, I've got the podcast and the Raw reviews, but it'll be back to Wednesday and Thursday and a day on the weekend if I feel like it, but that will not be a guaranteed thing. That'll be at Organoid Zero. It'll be typically at starting at either 7 or 5 Central, depending on if I get stuff done in the time need for that day, but the latest would be 7 p.m. Central. If you like cosplaying and conventions and such, you can check out my Instagram at Organoid Zero. I cosplay Devil May Cry characters a lot. And The Chosen from Smosh, if you know who that is. I just did a con at Midwest Gaming Classic. Met all the crew for Devil May Cry. They're unbelievably cool people. If you can meet them, it is genuinely one of the best fan interactions I've had in my entire life. It's going to be hard to top. And if you like the other podcast that I'm a part of, the Geeking Out podcast with my buddy Eli over on Athletic Geek 89 premieres every Wednesday, and we just go for one subject and talk about it for an hour. And I believe the one this week will be our WrestleMania prediction. So yeah, until next time, we will see you all later. Bye.